Hello everyone on YouTube and welcome back to the 25-part tutorial of how to model basketball court arena, where we will continue with our basketball hoop. So last time what we've done is creating this wheel. Now I have a problem because Maya is changing automatically my render viewport to viewport 2, and usually I'm using legacy high quality viewport or just the legacy one, I don't know. Anyway, um, I want to import this wheel right now to the entire scene where the basketball hoop is. So what I want to do first is I want to go over edit, delete by type, just to make sure that all the history is um, deleted, and I'm gonna go over edit, copy, and I'm gonna open the scene where is my basketball hoop. So this is the one. I have two more copies, by the way, because I was experimenting something. There is something that I didn't find a solution for right now, and therefore I wanted to just create the next part quickly as I can and experiment whatever I need. So anyway, I have two copies here that showing up uh, how the model should look like, but also showing the problems that we will face later on. Maybe I will open one of them just to show you first, okay? I have, yes, I think 19 is the one. I'm gonna go over that file for a second. I just want to show you something. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna create this thing here, the pivot that holds the wheels over here. And the problem that I was facing um, was a little bit hard on me to fix this. So I will just show you what is it. You can see here we have this piece of metal, right? This profile here, right? This one. Now, for when I created this pivot here, this, uh, this thing here, I I created it on top of edges that I was manually added here in order to extrude this out. Now, the problem was that those edges that I've created here, the edge loops, in order to pull that face, extrude it, they've been just went through here to this object. Okay, so what it's done, it's basically instead of having a circle here, I mean a pipe, a nice pipe here, now this pipe has turned into this weird thing here. You see these curves that appearing in for no reason. Basically, they are they are there because of those four edges here. Now, when we will create that part right now, you just need to be aware that this might happen to you as well, and we will need to find a way on how we're gonna fix this. Now, it ain't gonna be that easy. I really tried hard to find a quick solution for it, but it will deserve a little bit more work, and because we are already created a model that is already too crowded with edges and stuff like that. It's really hard on me to even take to record this in a way that you will be able to understand what you see there, because I'm always working on focus on very close up zoom in order to fix whatever I have here. And I'm not sure like everyone will be able to see the big picture while I'm doing this. Anyway, let's continue. I will go back to file number 18, which is there where I left you before we started with the wheel. Okay, so here's the basketball hoop. I think I'm missing something here. I'm missing this pivot here, which I'm not sure why it's like that. Let me go over file 19 maybe. No, 19 I were there, so it must have been, let's see, it must be 70, or yeah, it's 18. Never mind. What I will do here is I will just go over 18 and I will fix whatever there is to fix there. Okay, don't save this, and we just need to copy this one first over there, position it there. Okay, so right now we have the ground here. Now I want to add this plain ground on to a new layer, or simply to the hidden layer that I have here. This hidden layer is contained one piece. This is the main thing that we created on the beginning, on the very first beginning of this basketball hoop. So I will add this layer, this plane, to the same layer. Right click on this layer, add selected object, and what I will do is I will go over edit past. Now when I pasting, I'm actually pasting the wheel that I copied from this wheel scene. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it, so hold on the J and rotate it that way so it will be standing, like vertically. Okay, and I'm gonna move it to the back of the basketball hoop here. Okay, now I want you to be aware to something. The distance, I mean the width of those two wheels that's supposed to be here, together with the pivots that holds them into place, it should be a little bit more than the profile that we have here. I mean, it should be something like from here over here and not from here over here. Okay, so you want to bring this up and you want to make sure that you scale this that way, stretch it a little bit that way. Okay, now stretch it a little bit more, something like so. I'm gonna switch to top view here. There is something that bothers me right now. Okay, so this is the wheel from the top view and the main body. So let's say we need to keep some space from the frame here, because it should be there, that way. Now we want the wheel to be very at the same edge here, this grid line here, where the body is. So it won't peek out from here. So it will be at the same position, that way. Okay. Now I will copy the wheel and I want to bring it just a little bit over here, and I want to stretch them both at the same time. It's switching me back to viewport 2. Okay, so I'm gonna grab both of them, unselect the body of the basketball hoop, and I'm gonna scale it up a little bit more and do something like that. Okay, I think something like so, it's fine that way. Alright, so basically I have one cube unit from the frame to the first wheel, just a little space from there. We will switch to to perspective view so you can see it. I may need a little bit more than that. I mean, it's somewhat the same as the profile. I need a little bit more. So I'm gonna scale this up a little bit more, and I will move this one a little bit there. Okay. Now here we will start off by first we are starting off already. We need to scale up the wheels. Okay, we need to scale them from the side view. Now you're gonna grab both of them, and you know what, let's grab only one, and we're gonna scale this up so it will meet the ground, you see. Now we need to leave a little bit space in between the wheel and the main body up there. So you may want to scale this to about so. Make sure the wheel is really sitting on the ground plane and that we have a little bit space, but also we want the wheel here to be at the same line where this is. Okay, so that way it's like the best way to put it, and this is where it should be go. I'm gonna delete this one and I'm gonna copy this one now. and move it over here. Okay, that way. And yeah, for now. Okay, at least the wheel are at the same spot where they should be. I may need to move them a little bit to the left, I don't know. I'm gonna add them to a new layer because I want them to be in a new layer, and simply select them and click on this icon. It will add them to this layer so you can hide them. Okay, but basically I want to hide right now the plane because I don't need it anymore. I know that it's on the ground on the same level that this is, the leg is, so everything is cool by that. And I want to come over here and grab that. So you can see now that I need to pick a little bit more to move them a little bit there, that way. And I want to add 2 edge loops. I think a little bit more than 2 edge loops over. Okay, we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Let's see. This is really interesting. Whatever is going on here. Let me press 1. I may want to double click on this edge here, and I may want to double click. Okay, this edge goes nowhere. I mean, it's stopping there, so I need to click all the way there and hope for that it went through all the entire shape. And I will do the same over here. Okay, I'm just trying something. I want to squeeze them, so I'm gonna use the scale tool in order to do so. No, it doesn't work that way. It's just messing up. Anyway, let's go back to the wheels. So I'm gonna add 2 edge loops here. Shift right click, insert edge loop, and I'm gonna add 1 edge loop here. Okay, that way. And it's already, you can see there in the background how it's assembled to this leg, which this is the problem we have. I'm gonna add another one here, and I'm gonna add another one, just a little bit space in between them. So we have 2, we have 3, and the 4 we want the same distance as those 2. So something like that. Okay, it's almost the same, not really that similar, but that's okay. Now we're gonna switch to side view, and I'm gonna add 2 edge loops that way, okay, on top of our main body. But as I can see it right now, I have a problem with something here. I'm not sure where it's gone. It's like there is it's like there is a little wheel there, you see? It's like Maya doesn't know that it's there. I'm not sure why it's doing this. Let's grab this one. Change this. Okay, now it's gone. So I don't know what's up with that. Never mind. What can I say? My eye is bugged. So we want to add, as I said, 2 edge loops here. So you see we have those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines on top inside this circle, right? So I'm going to rely on those 2 in order to determine how much the width of this pivot thing will be here. So I'm going to put 1 edge loop here according to this one here, okay? And 1 here according to this one, okay? So that way they will be somewhat similar. Now I'm going to add 1 here over and 1 from the left. So what I've done, basically I created a frame, just like I always do when I want to create something make sure that there is a frame that contained uh, whatever I have there. So you will see this in a second. Here it is. Okay, so here is this face here in this part, and this will be extruded out to hold up those two wheels, but we need two of them. So right now we are dealing with only one, but you see we have this frame now because we added those amount of edge loops. So we have this frame that hold this thing up in a way that we will be able to extrude it without messing up the geometry here. So I'm gonna extrude it, okay, that way, and bring it up. Now, when you bring it up, I want you to bring it up just a little bit above this hole here, okay? So something like so. Maybe I will tweak it later, but right now that's okay. Press F8, and I want to switch to side view, that way. And I wanted to take a look on X-ray mode. I can't see any X-ray here. Not sure why is that. Oh, maybe because I'm on viewport, legacy viewport. Anyway, there is something weird going on here. I really can't tell what is it. Let me first save this file, save scene as. Let's keep it as 21 and save as. And I'm gonna close Maya and we'll be back in a second, okay? As I thought, Maya really have some bugs. You can see now that the other wheel back there is not there anymore, the little one. I don't know why, and we are in viewport too, so right now there is no difference between them. Well, Maya is bugged. What can I say? So let's continue with this. So we have this part, and we want to determine where we have edge loop here. So I'm gonna shift right click here, insert edge loop. And I'm gonna insert one edge loop exactly here in the middle of this circle. Okay, it's also in the middle of those two spokes here. Okay, and for here, what I will do, I will grab this edge, control right click, edge ring utilities to edge ring and split. Then I will have this split one exactly here. Now, doesn't look like it's the center, but we will act like it was in the center. I don't know, something really weird going on with whatever going on there. 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the wheels just a little bit that way so it will be in the center. Not sure why that happened, but anyway. Now, I'm gonna stretch those vertices here so they will look like it's even cube, okay, like that. And then I will add one more edge loop here. Let's bring back to object mode. Sorry. Shift right click, insert edge loop, and we're gonna add, you know what, let's count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, almost the end of 7. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, about here, almost at the end of the 7. So that way we have cubes, 4 cubes that all of them together looks like an even cube. So that's good. And now we will add two edge loops here. I mean one here, one there at the very end, but not too attached. And we're gonna add offset edge loop on top of this one in order to make those two even. So that way. Let's create a frame that we will be able to see that way. Okay. Now I'm gonna switch back to perspective mode, and I wanna hide the layer of the wheels. Okay. And I wanna work on this part here. So basically, what I've done with adding those edges, I was adding another frame to this area. So you see these faces here, those little ones, they are creating a frame to this area. Okay, those. So I'm gonna right click, choose vertex. I'm gonna grab this vertex and I'm gonna grab this vertex as well at the same time. Okay, shift right click, chamfer vertex. Okay, with that done, I'm gonna bring back. I'm gonna right click, choose face. You know what? I'm gonna delete those faces from the inside. Okay, I'm deleting them. You see, and here I want to add edges from the corners over here, just like we did in on earlier parts. So multi-cut tool, one click here, one click, hold, drag to find the 50 point and release, right, release and right click. Okay. Now with the construction history, you can probably set it exactly to 50. So if you're into it, do it. I'm just gonna be doing it that way. 50, and here click, hold, drag, find the 50, release, and right click to position this edge. Now that we've done this, I'm gonna hold on and grab this vertices, these 4 vertices that have been added, and I'm gonna bring back the layer of the wheels. Now I want to switch to the side view, and I want to be able to see this on X-ray. So make sure that you are on viewport 2 and make sure that you have X-ray turned on, right? You're gonna scale those uniformly, those vertices, and press 3 at the same time. Now the problem here that I need to go back to perspective mode, and I will delete this face. Okay, let's delete it. Let's bring it back to side view. I need to, never mind. Okay, so yeah, something doesn't move here. I'm gonna press 3, and you see what's going on. This is now smooth preview, and you can see obviously that the circle here is not really matching the circle of our wheels, and we need it to be exactly the same. So what I will do is I'm gonna just right click on the background or press F8, right click, choose vertices again, and let's grab those vertices and maybe those 3 only, and I will bring them downwards that way, and maybe those just a little bit that way. Alright, so something like so. I think it's enough. It doesn't have to be that accurate. So with that done, we determine the circle diameter here, the pivot diameter of this, and we can hide back our wheels. I'm gonna press 1 to exit smooth preview. I'm gonna grab those faces, okay, only those without the frame, and I'm gonna duplicate them. So mesh, duplicate, edit mesh, duplicate. It will take time to duplicate because we have a massive scene here. Press F8 3 times, and then Control to unselect this, go over modify. Now what I'm doing first, I'm switching to move tool, but the move tool is not here, so I want to center the pivot for it. Okay, centering the pivot will bring the move tool over here, and now I can rotate this. I will rotate it that way. Okay, and now I'm gonna move it and snap it over this open area where we were deleting those faces. So move tool, hold on the V key, and push it over this side. Okay, so now it's here and not there. Okay, now right click on the background vertices, grab all the outer vertices, select those, shift select those, shift select, okay, sorry, control shift to add to selection sometimes. And we're gonna scale this down, only the outer frame. You can see while I'm scaling this up and down, the circle here stays the same. So it's only those vertices at the outer side. Yeah, let's do it something like so. Press F8, grab both of them, mesh, combine. Now we will use the merge vertex tool. Now merge vertex tool, switch, click on option box and choose target vertex. Okay, you wanna grab those and stitch them to the corners or to the other vertices that way. Click, hold, point, and release. Click on this, hold, drag to point, and release. That way, and that way. Now we'll take a look from the side to see that we didn't stitched vertices from the other side, and that's all good. Now right click, choose edge. We're gonna grab this edge and we shift double click on this edge. Now I wanna patch those two. I mean, I need to have something here to fill this area. Now the problem that occurring sometimes when you're using bridge option, it will bridge them but will add a twist in here. I will just show you. I will bridge this. You see what happened? So what I want to do is just extrude those two edges, switch immediately to scale tool and squeeze them that way. Now you see the cube here, this yellow cube that I'm pushing, I want it to meet the bluish one and not crossing over it, okay? Because if I cross over it, it will basically overlap those two edges and faces. So I want to be exactly there. And with that done, you can hold on shift right click, sorry, control right click and choose two vertices, okay? So basically it will turn your selection from edges to vertices. Now I want to go over mesh, edit mesh and merge components. Now I'm using a very high threshold and I may need to use something like merge vertex tool in order to patch this. You see there is a little bit difference between where the vertices are meeting each other. So this is mainly because I copied those faces, but I didn't take in mind that I need to make sure that they're facing each other as like a mirror, okay? So this is why it happened. It's not a big of an issue, but you may want to um, switch to scale tool, open this up a little bit so you will see better those two. I'm gonna go over merge vertex tool option, change the option to center, and what I will do, I will simply stitch them that way, okay? That way. These two, and yeah, that's it. Now I'm gonna add a few edge loops here. So let me first reset this tool because I always need it on target vertices most of the time. And shift, let's change to selection tool, shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm gonna add one edge loop here. I'm gonna add one edge loop at the other side, that way. Something here is very much weird. Okay. Okay. And I will add two more edge loops, one here and one there. You can do it with offset edge loop tool if you want. Press F8, selection tool, and press 3 just to see this better. So this is how it looks right now, right? and I'm gonna switch back to non-smooth preview mode. And I want to show you something. By default, if I would like to make this sharp, I will add 2 more edge loops here. You see here, that points. Now the problem that I don't want to do this is because it's already somewhat sharp. I mean, if I press F8, I just undo whatever I did. I didn't add them eventually. So it still looks sharp enough to, just to give us the way it should look like. Now, I don't want to mess around with that because it looks good, and if I will add those 2 edge loops, I will add more edge loops here to interfere later on with what's going on here on the front leg. See, because we already have those edges here while we created those edge loops. So I don't want to do this, okay? I don't want to add those 2 more. It's already sharp. Now, the next problem is we need to add 1 more edge loop here. But before we will do this, we will gonna copy the entire shape. So I don't want to mess with all the other little chunks of this faces. I don't want to add edge loop here, so I won't need to catch those little faces later on. So I'm grabbing them as they are that way. I'm gonna go over edit mesh, duplicate. Okay, press F8 3 times, and Control to unselect the main body, so we will have only the duplicated faces. I'm gonna go over modify center pivot and switch to move tool, bring back the layer with the wheels. I want to take those 2 over here, okay, to the other side. Now those 2 wheels, we can bring them back, I mean over here, that way, right? Now we want to bring this one next to them. Let's have a look from the top view. It will be easier to see how far they are from each other. I can't see the other one. Those little bugs, just disturbing. Anyway, let's put it near to the wheel, somewhat like so. And I have a reason to believe that this is the other one, so that's good. Like so. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Now you can see I really care that whenever you do this, the thickness of those 2 wheels together, I mean, you can even bring them just a little bit more next to each other, but leave some space. I mean, it shouldn't be that way. All I care is that the width with both of them will be more than this area, this profile here, okay? Now the reason is because now when I want to add this part to the main body, I will need to create edges here, but not on the profile. That way, the edges that I'm going to create here won't affect whatever goes there, and I won't need to deal with it. So here, it's really simple. I can like shift right click, add insert edge loop. I'm going to add like 1 edge loop here, okay, that way. And I'm going to add 1 more edge loop next to it, that way. Now I know that I have enough space to add this profile even a little bit closer, this pivot, okay? Let me change to top view so we can see this. Okay, these are the 2, okay? This is the same ones but from the top view, the top area. But these are the 2, okay? So you can see the profile is there, right? I'll switch to selection tool. I will grab this, and I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna bring those. All right, I'm a little bit. I need a wireframe unshaded. Okay, I'm gonna bring them next to each other that way. Now you can snap those. I mean, if I will grab this and go over shading, wireframe unshaded, and I will grab this piece, I can just hide the wheels, hold down the D, hold down the V key, snap this to the point there, and I will snap it to that edge, so it will be correctly on that edge. Okay, on that edge. See? Now I will create two more edge loops. One here and one here. Okay. Now shift right click, choose vertices. I'm gonna grab this vertex, double click on the other one. Hopefully it will loop select everything, you see? And yeah, let's see. I want to connect them. I want to move them, but I want to move them in a way that uh, let's see, that way. No, no, I will just add them as they are. I'm just doing myself harder work. I will just try to add them according to what I have here. So I'm relying on this line, not the other one. Okay, so this line here, in order to meet this that way. Okay, and I will add one more edge loop that way. Okay, press F8. Grab this piece right now. Sorry, only that piece. Now, with that piece, I want to right click, choose vertices, grab those vertices down here, everything that's here, and I want to lift them up a little bit. So I'll have space and I will see what's going on here. Right click on that and grab those 1, 2, and 1 and 2. Okay, and delete them. Now, I'm gonna grab both of them as like that, this one and that one, mesh combine, edit mesh, merge vertex tool, sorry, mesh tools, and let's stitch this up. Okay, this one to this one, this one to that one, this one to this one, this one here, alright, this one over here, this one over here, and those two. So press F8 and voila. Okay, now I will press 3 just to see what's going on here. I see that everything is patched correctly. I don't have any problems except that I need to add 2 more edge loops here. So I'm gonna add 2 more edge loops. Shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm gonna zoom in. Please zoom in when you're adding edge loops. That way it will be easier for you to see where you're adding them and do it correctly. And let's add one here. Let's press 3 and here we go. We have those two. Okay, so everything looks good here. I can add a layer of our wheels, so we have this constructed and looks as it should look. Now the only problem is again only those edges here. So I'm gonna deal with them later on, or maybe I will keep it as it is right now. I'm not sure how much I want to deal with them. It's also deserving a little bit more thinking before we will be able to fix this area. Okay, so let's leave it for now, at least for this part. I want this part to be wrapped right now. You see those edges that we created for this pivot here, they are going through here, then this not interrupting with anything on the way, but the other ones did. So yeah, we shall see. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was a little bit weird what's going on in here with the Maya. Maya is just a little bit bugged, and all I care that you will understand. I mean, I will just take a look on that 1 second in that way. I want you to understand that you need to have a little bit space in between here, okay? And you need to have more space. I mean, the sum of those two wheels and the pivots that holds them should be a little bit more than this main profile here. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You can take a look on the reference picture. You can see obviously this is how it looks. So we will only need to create the pivot here to finish this area, but we will do this later on. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to save this file with a new name. So I'm gonna call it yeah, 22, I guess. I have copies over copies. I'm gonna save this. Well, see you at the next part. Bye bye.